Hi there, and welcome to this FPLreview.com video guide on solver settings. So in this video, I'm going to go through each setting individually. Before going to any detail, I should mention that there's this help option up here. If you click on, it'll bring up a PDF that goes through each setting, and it mentions what each setting is, why we use it, and how to interpret the setting. I'll let you go through that yourselves. So if you've got any particular one of interest, just scroll right down to it and you'll have some info there. So let's start with FT value. So that stands for free transfer value, and basically you can interpret as that. What is the average EV gain we might expect from a typical free transfer? Now setting this to 0 will create a literal plan. So one of the things we notice here when we have an FT value of say 1 or 2, the solver won't necessarily use up all of our transfers. This doesn't mean the solver saying, let's burn a few transfers. It's more so saying there's no key move, and we can assume over that period, there will be a transfer worth the FT value in real time. And the useful thing here is that it creates more robustness, or plan allows for an injury or two, a change of events, whereas when we set this to 0, we have a very fragile line. So if somebody gets injured, the whole plan might be in the bin. The next setting is time decay. And basically this is kind of prioritizing transfers in the live game week or upcoming game weeks rather than transfer in 10 game weeks time. So for example, it's saying 1 EV that we can grab now is a higher priority than 1 EV we can gain in 10 weeks time. And the way to imagine this is that things are going to change very significantly in 10 week game weeks time. Other options will appear, injuries will happen, players will get dropped, and it's really very hypothetical, whereas 1 EV now is very certain. So basically this is a compounding factor. So in the live game week, the weight is 100%. In the next game week, it's 85%, and effectively it's 85% to the power of the distance from the live game week to that future game week. Solver speed. This basically is the heaviness of the solve. So if you go number 7, it's going to be very fast. Search space is going to be reduced, but you're going to get a result, in a matter of seconds. 5 and 4, kind of more medium level solves, it could be 30 seconds to a minute, again, depending on your device. They'll generally find a better move than speed 7. You can go down to speeds, 1, 2, 3, which are very heavy. And to be fair, I should mention really very little gain over speeds 4 and 5. But listen, that's down to your own preference. The next setting I want to go through is burn value. By default, this is set equal to FT value. And again, this one, maybe even more abstract than free transfer value. You can edit it. I'd suggest reading up on this if you really are interested in having a different value. But in some ways, I regret even having the setting on the side, to be honest. So yeah, I'm going to say, you know what, leave this to equal to FT value. It's going to cause more confusion than it's worth for most people. The last one I'm going to go through in this video, so there's going to be a part 2, is solve depth. So this is the number of game weeks that you want to allow transfers to occur in. So the horizon of projections that you load may be 12 game weeks, but you only might want to make transfers or make a plan for over the next 3 weeks. So this will make changes over the next 3 weeks, but with the full horizon included. By default, this is set to 6, but again, very much down to your personal preference. So I'll go through the remainder in part 2.